What is something unrealistic that you often see in movies that annoys the hell out of you? Clean houses where there are 3 to 4 chaotic children. Living spaces in TV and movies are always spotless. That is, unless there's a plot or character specific reason why it's not. And they're usually decorated very well, no matter how poor they are. I remember there was an episode of CSI where a family with like 4 or so children were killed. The CSIs noted the fast food wrappers on the table and dishes in the sink, as though it's notable for a family with 4+ kids to not have an immaculately spotless house. #YO you don't have unlimited ammo. Someone must have turned on SV_cheats and forgot to turn it off. It's clear no one has ever tried to carry around as much crap as these guys shoot. And all mags. No loose rounds. That's a ton of extra weight by itself. And don't get me going about the people who carry like 5 guns. I did read somewhere that sometimes this issue comes up in test audiences for action movies. But when given the choice of just all out shooting versus having to realistically show what it would take to have that much ammo, audiences are willing to overlook this for more action. Gunfire indoors or inside cars and everyone can hear fine afterwards. Big explosions that throw people around but have no shrapnel. Windows that can be jumped through without shredding your skin. People traversing through air ducts. Fight scenes with multiple attackers. They're all so polite, waiting for their friends to get their ass kicked before engaging. In reality you get jumped by everyone at the same time. Activate instant kill. Someone being hit in the head, loses consciousness, and 2 minutes later getting up as if nothing happened. That, or people getting shot or stabbed in a limb and end up with horrific looking injuries. And yet that doesn't restrict their movement one bit. They can still run despite being shot in the leg. They can still fight, even though they've been stabbed in the shoulder. They don't even feel any pain. Law student here. Every courtroom scene is a disaster. I object. You can't handle the truth. I've got a plan. Great. What is it? No time. Just trust me. And then a 20-minute drive where it's still not discussed. Or a conversation starting in one room. And then scene is cut and it jumps to where they are in the car or wherever. Somewhere completely different. But the conversation carries on right where it left off. What did they do in the time in between? Action movies where the good guy's car gets rammed or gets in bad wreck and it's still drivable and the airbag doesn't deploy. As much as I love the Burn movies, that shit always drives me crazy. To be fair, he drives an old banger most of the time that doesn't have airbags and generally always rams using the back of the car, from what I remember. So as long as the engine and radiator isn't smashed, it will probably still run. Good guy jumps behind some furniture and the bad guys unloads 1000 rounds into it and none of them go through. What the duck is that couch made of? Question mark? Plutonium. Same for car doors, which seem to be made of dentium, an alloy made of equal parts deplenished uranium, unobtainium and reinforced vibranium. Falling into ice water in winter, getting out soaking wet, not dying of hypothermia. This one drives me crazy. They usually put a coat or something over their soaking wet clothes or end up running away. Gun silencers. There's no such thing. It's a muffler at best, but you can't mute the sound out. Even just using the word silencer, they're actually referred to as suppressors. Which as you note, makes more sense. It's actually fine to call them silencers. The very first commercially available one was even marketed by the famous Hiram Maxim of Maxim Gun fame as a silencer, and it's kind of like the clip/magazine thing, where people are just being overly pedantic. Doctors doing everything in medical settings. Scanning the patient. Setting up fourths. Interpreting brain MRIs. Nurses who? Radiographers what? When people order food in a restaurant and then leave before it arrives. At least get it to go. Even worse is they get it and leave with full plates still. My mom takes one bite and then leaves the house. Women in sex scenes always wearing matching bra and panties and keeping the bra on the whole sesh. Or those after sex scenes where women cover themselves with the sheets until the neck. Men are uncovered and wearing boxers. Or women getting out of bed and dragging a sheet covering their chest to walk around. Or uncovered but wearing a full set of lacy lingerie with straps and ribbons perfectly in place. I do that, but only because I run like a furnace and the girlfriend is forever cold. The way people break bottles on people's heads. Yeah. As someone who tried, I can say, it does not break. Someone did this to me with a big whiskey bottle. Bottle did not break. I have a nice dent in my skull. So that's nice. People can talk and hear each other in clubs or loud bars without any issues. Big breakfasts that no one eats because the characters are in a hurry and running out the door. Me personally, I'll be late to whatever for some pancakes/waffles. Surviving explosions with nary a scratch. Adding on to that, concussive force can destroy internal organs and bone. Being close enough to be thrown by a large explosion or burned by it probably means it did some serious damage. The only time I've ever seen this addressed was in an episode of Outlander. Of all things. Women in fight scenes with their hair down. Girl. Tied back, I know you can't see shit. In a similar vein. Running in heels. If your job involves chasing villains, wear flats. Yeah, good point. Even if you are dexterous enough to do that, imagine the incredible shit you'd be able to pull off in flats. Punching 4 people in the face and not feeling anything. I've been in a fight and won. Even then it hurts like hell. No one wins in a fight. They just get injured the least. I actually have never had my hands hurt after a fight. Don't know if it's just a high pain tolerance or something. Snapping people's necks with a quick twisting motion at the jaw. This is the one. I do combat sports. We twist each other up a lot. If it was so easy to snap a neck, our classes would be littered with corpses. Lol, my thoughts exactly. In labor and birth scenes, the woman is pissed off, the baby is clean, and they never deliver the placenta. The newborns often look like they are already a couple of months old. It's because by law they are. People punching each other in the face like it's no big deal and not leaving any marks, bruises, red spots, etc. I think Hollywood only has 2 sound effects for mechanics shops. Air impact guns buzzing like an ASCA pit stop and some hand ratchets clicking. In Hollywood you could get a scene of someone working on the International Space Station and the background noise would be an ASCA pit stop air gun. Every kid in a movie has to be a genius for some reason. They can't just be a normal 10-year-old. They also always own a Rubik's Cube. I was amazed that the kid in the movie A Marriage Story seemed so normal. He wasn't precocious or clever or wise beyond his years. He was just a normal kid acting like a normal kid. It really stuck out in my mind because what you posted is so true. Stop waving that empty cup around. It's supposed to have hot coffee in. Put some water in it. Or if you are worried about spills, fill it halfway with Elmer's glue. It needs to have some weight, especially when you set it down. This drives me nuts. Couples having romantic baths together. What's more relaxing than stuffing 2 full-sized adults in a tiny tub? And no matter how poor the characters are, they have 100 lit candles in their bathroom when they take a bath. Candles are expensive. Those damn candles would set off my smoke detectors. Then I'd sprain an ankle jumping out of the tub to silence those bastards. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.